Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are doing a full blowout tutorial. Basically going to be showing you a 3-in-1. What that means is I'm going to show you first just a blowout, which you can definitely stop there. Then I'm going to show you some extra little tips and tricks to get a super smooth, sleek style. And then lastly, add extensions and add waves. And of course, show you every step of the way with all of my secret hairdresser tips and tricks. Anyway, I'm super excited to film this for you guys. First of all, it is morning. I never film in the morning, but also because I haven't done a blowout video in years. Trends have definitely changed. So I'm here to kind of update each little step here with you guys. I figured I should update you guys. Last video or last couple of videos said we were on the market for a place, and I said hopefully next time I'm on here I'll be letting you know that we do have a new place. So the news is we still don't know. Again, welcome to the market in California. It is just crazy. I'm personally a little bit over it. I just emotionally, it's been too much. I may or may not have shed a small tear before this video started filming, but I was so excited to be able to film this in the morning and to just start my day off with you guys, which I never do. I've clearly already filmed the tutorial. Now I'm back from the future to film this intro, but just letting you know I'm in such a better mood. Thank you guys for always being such a fun distraction where I can come on here and talk about hair, beauty, and all the fun girly things. So please send us your positive vibes. We need them. But yeah, enough about me and us. Let's just get into the tutorial. So I shampooed my hair this morning and let it air dry to about 80-85%, and then kind of just put it up only to get it out of my face. And this is what we've got. So this is no extensions. So I'm going to show you my full blowout routine. I haven't done this in so long, and I do feel like the style and the trend has kind of changed since my last video on this, so I figured it was time. So I feel like in the last couple of years, it's been all about having more these straight, relaxed ends. Even if you have kind of natural or beachy waves, looks more laid back to have kind of the straight ends. But just a beautiful, voluminous kind of 90s blowout is really in. And for that, you want soft, bouncy, beveled ends. So beveled means instead of it finishing straight down, it bevels either in or out. Think of the Rachel haircut on Friends, basically with a lot of layers kind of going in. So I'm going to be showing you both. I'm going to show you how to get lots of volume and a great base blowout, along with my little kind of tips and tricks on how to get it the most smooth and to get it to last the longest. And then after that, I will also show you how I finish that style if I want to add some more waves or some more texture to my hair. And almost every time I show my hair naturally, you guys end up loving it. And when this fully dries, I feel like it ends up looking a lot frizzier. And just me personally, I love a blowout. And for me, a blowout lasts 2 days. I'm going to be using the Dyson blow dryer. Best blow dryer I've ever used, not just for the hair, but the ergonomics of it and just how you hold it. It's light, it's compact. It's basically that dream travel blow dryer that actually works amazing. It's not a travel blow dryer, but it is almost that size. So that's why I love it. You guys know that I have worked with Dyson in the past, but just know that nothing in this video is sponsored. I'm just showing you what I personally use on a daily basis. But yeah, Dyson blow dryer is the one thing that if you're looking for a hair tool to invest in, this is it. Then to add some waves, I'm going to be using the T3 curling iron. This thing is so old. I have boxes and boxes and boxes of new ones, but this one is probably 3-4 years old. Still works great. So what I'm using, an extra large round brush. This one's by Olivia Garden. You guys know my love and affinity for them. I will leave links to everything that I'm using here in the description box down below so that you can find everything. To prep my hair, I don't do this every time. I love the feeling of just clean, blown out hair. Today, because I'm doing like the full whammy, I am going to go in with a primer for the hair. I'll be using Salon's Velvet Primer. It adds smoothness and shine and eliminates frizz. And then I am going to go in and touch up, especially these areas back here. This is where I get my biggest tangles, to be honest, and like tightest curls. So after a blowout, I go in with the Dyson Straightener, and that just kind of helps smooth out that area. It's a good quality tool, so it's not adding extra damage or dryness to my hair. And honestly, doing this step, I feel like it really, really prolongs the blowout. Now I know that the price of Dyson tools is high, and personally, as a hairdresser, having tried so many things, I think it is still worth every penny because it is that good. But if you are on a budget or you can only get one tool, I would still go with the blow dryer. I feel like it's the more versatile tool that you're going to get the most out of. All right, a lot of blabbering. Also, I'm filming this in the morning, which is my favorite time of the day. And I always end up filming in the evening because this studio is where Adam has his office in the corner behind you guys. So now that we're all working from home, he's in here all day long. So normally I film like after dinner. And that's like when my energy and kind of like mood is just lower because it's the end of the day. It's definitely not when I'm my most creative. So I love filming in the morning. And today Adam is out doing physical therapy for his shoulder because he is turning 85 this year. Just kidding. So yeah, I was like, can I film while you're away? So got the studio to myself in the morning. All right, let's get to it. So I'm going to start with a small dab of the primer and just work that through my fingers and kind of start more at the bottom. And then the less I have of product on my hands, then we can work that a little bit higher into the hair. You never ever want to put a ton of product at the root. Okay, so let me just kind of quickly explain the anatomy of my signature blowout. Good blowout to me has great volume, has smooth, shiny strands, and then beautiful beveled ends. So I found the quickest and best way to achieve all of these things with the most minimal effort is to break it up in sections. So I think of the Mohawk section is the most important because that's where you want to add a ton of volume. So I do this part last because this is where I want to focus the most attention. I didn't bring the clip. So I'm going to do my scrunchie. And then from the hair that is left, I'm going to separate this into 3 sections. So we've got our side section here. This, and I'm just kind of parting like slightly behind the ear. So we've got our 2 sections here and our last section in the back. I like to start in this back area because it's the most tedious and annoying. And it's the one that's going to be basically covered with the top voluminous section. So for this back part, as long as you get it smooth, trying to get a ton of volume at the root is kind of pointless. Obviously, if I'm in the salon and I'm doing a blowout on a client, I would get volume to all of the roots. So including the back, it just gives a more finished, polished look. But of course, if you're doing this on yourself daily, it would just be so much effort. So I'm literally going to start by just grabbing the entire thing and kind of smoothing it out. And then I will separate this into 2 or 3 sections and go in and do a little bit more detailed work just to smooth it out. So that's it for that back section. Again, this is smooth enough. If I'm going for like an ultra sleek kind of a blowout, I will go over it with the flat iron in the end. Or if I'm adding waves, again, this is plenty smooth. So now I'm gonna be starting on the side sections, and I like starting off with the face framing piece just to create smoothness and a little bit of volume here. These are the beveled ends I was talking about. This is the difference between just kind of like straightening your hair once it's dry versus you did a blowout from scratch. And the secret isn't to just bevel like the very ends. The secret is to wrap it around almost a full turn. Do you see how the ends are here? And then blasting that with some heat, and that's what's going to set in that shape. All right, now doing the exact same thing to this side. All right, we're looking pretty smooth. All right, so now we're going to be working on the top Mohawk section. So as you can see, it's this wide rectangular section. And so here what I like to do is just go in like straight across sections. So just grabbing that cross section. And we don't want each section to be too thick. I would say about an inch. So this is the most important part, as this is going to be your face framing voluminous piece. I think what always looks best is bringing the hair forward and down. This is going to over direct the hair from where it naturally wants to fall. So it's going to add a ton of volume as opposed to like blow drying like this. I feel like I see a lot of people doing this. And what you're doing by pressing back like this, you're adding volume to this section and flattening out the base, which is the complete opposite of what you want. Profile, this is what I think people naturally want to do. Something kind of here, but you want to bring it forward, almost to the point where you're like, this can't be right. And you want to do that 1 or 2 times, hold in place, then we're going to let go, and you can see that volume. And this is what we want. So doing the exact same thing, moving back. So going to be grabbing another like 1 inch across section. So as you saw, this next section doesn't need to be pulled forward, just being pulled straight up is great. And we have 2 sections left. All right, we're almost done. Now we have this section here where I personally like to add a lot of volume. I think if you add a ton of volume here and then nothing here, it ends up looking like a very one-sided kind of blowout, like it looks good from the front, but we want it to look good from all angles. And I feel like when we think of our hair, we think of the front and sometimes possibly the back, but the profile I think is super important and often overlooked. So for this one, you're going to be doing the same thing you did to the front. You're going to over direct once again. And I'm actually going to add the air behind here to create even more of that beveling to really add extreme volume. All right, and so we have a perfect base blowout. You can absolutely stop here, but like I said, I'm gonna show you just a few little tweaks that you can do to just even elevate this further. So again, as you can see, even though we blow dried this pretty smooth, I get a lot of texturing through here. So I'm gonna smooth this area out first. So just getting in as close to the root as possible. All right, much better. Also with the Dyson Straightener, it works in one swipe, so also super time saving. All right, and then this I don't do very often, but it does add a little extra shine to the mid-lengths. So not to ruin that beveling and blow drying that you did. So I like to kind of keep that beveling, but do you see the kind of extra shine and extra polish it gives the hair? So yeah, the step literally takes 5 seconds, but I think it does make a bit of a difference. So yeah, there's the second step completed. Super quick and super effective. Now, I did bring in some clip-in extensions because, like I said, I don't have any extensions in right now, mainly because I've just been way too lazy to go to my extension person to put them in. You guys know I used to do tape-ins. I'm actually thinking of doing like a weft next time, but yeah, just haven't gotten around to it. So figured to really just give this the ultimate blowout finish. Figured I would add in some extensions. So these are toned a little bit differently. I feel like my hair in the back is a lot darker than this kind of thick money piece section here. So I would typically do this to just match the ends. Then if I'm feeling super extra, I'll do this brighter piece around the face here to blend in better with these bright pieces that I have here. So I'm going to be turning on my T3 curling iron and just adding some good old waves after I've put in my extensions. So I'm just going to be putting in one row of clip-ins through my kind of midsection here. This might actually be enough. I'm definitely much more of a hair minimalist these days. Let's see. How do we feel about this extra piece in the front? Is it too much? What do I think? This side to me just looks so much more natural and piecey, which is forever what I'll like. Let's just do the hair, just for the drama effect of an after. All right, so I normally like to start curling my hair in the back, kind of working my way forward, but I always like to grab a piece of the extensions and my hair to start marrying the two together. In order to save time, as one curl is setting in, I like to start grabbing the next section of hair. And of course, I'm not brushing these out yet. I'm just kind of letting them set. Once I get to this kind of more front section, I do like to go in with the face framing piece first because I don't want to end up doing the section with like not enough hair, if that makes sense. So I always like to go underneath and then curl away from the face, kind of starting at the brow level. Kind of sliding down to give it a somewhat relaxed kind of wave. Then I kind of like to just scope it out, see how it's looking. This extension piece is not blending in well with the rest of my hair. So again, I'm gonna grab both my hair and the extensions and try and marry those together a little better. Okay, better. So now we're gonna come over to this side. And honestly, if I'm doing this whole thing, I can do this in under 20 minutes. And obviously I've been talking here, but I honestly think a big plus to doing like tape-in extensions or adding extensions in after is the styling or the blow drying portion is so much quicker because you're washing and styling less of your own hair. So it makes it quicker and easier. So we're back to that front section. So again, I'm going to do that face framing piece first. So I use as much hair as I need for this front section. I don't like this front section looking too wispy. So again, coming down to about the eyebrow, twisting, and then gliding the barrel through. And then that last section of hair. So again, observing like I did on that other side, and this piece of extension, is it blending as nicely? Okay, all right, so now that we're done, we're able to kind of fluff it through. But yeah, here is our finished result. If you're looking to look a little more polished and just have fun, like va-va-voom, voluminous hair, this is it. And this is pretty relaxed waves, but it'll relax even more so through the next hour, and then it'll kind of set, which I love. I love it when it looks a little more lived in and a little more relaxed. So you definitely don't have to do the whole thing. You can kind of stop at whatever your comfort level or whatever time allows for. But yeah, I personally feel like there is no better feeling than a fresh blowout on fresh, clean hair. So I personally tend to do the full, what I just did now, like once a week. And then just the first step, a good traditional blowout on most days. All right, I hope you enjoy this. If you've never attempted to blow out your hair, I definitely recommend it. I think it's one of the most empowering things as women that we can do to be able to learn the steps so that you have this available to you when you need it. From my first blowout video that I ever did, I really encourage people to try. I know it looks intimidating if you've never done it before, but I had so many people still to this day message me from that video saying like, oh my gosh, I never thought I could do this, and I'm so proud of myself and I love my hair. So definitely recommend you try it if you haven't yet. And yeah, thank you for stopping by. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.